Hello, everyone. Whatever time you're coming in, okay, whenever you tap onto this video, y'all just say, hey, okay, come in. Welcome back, y'all, to a new episode for the Person in the Bag podcast. This is Charlisa Wellington. If you don't know me, I am your spiritual bartender, your Christ servant, all of those things in one. I'm just glad I was able to put a picture to my face to my podcast, y'all. If y'all haven't listened to it, go listen to it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty pure and authentic, just like who I am now. So yes, y'all. So today I want to just go into it, okay? Because I think some people still have some misconceptions. They still have some things that are creeping up the back of their spine. They still have some inquiries that they still want to get out. So I want to clear up some things in the air. I want to put some things in the air because as Black women, as women in general, we still get tripped up by the same stuff because we ultimately want to be loved. We want to be cared for. We want to know that this person that we're talking to are emotionally there for us as well as financial. So I think that some things that we do that we know that we try to compensate for the other, we try to go towards financial rather than emotional, and then we start tapping into a little physical too. So one of my things is I feel that we should all be aware of, and we should all get the truth on if you should have a sugar daddy or not, if you should be in a relationship with someone that you know you don't want to be with, but they're providing for you financially. And I think that's something that needs to be talked about. So here we are, y'all. So listen, this is my take, this is my experience, and y'all can take it or you can leave it, okay? So I had experiences before with older guys that I talked to that I wanted solely for money. And then I had experience with people that I didn't really want for the money, but I wanted for emotional, because when men get older, they have awareness than other men that may be a little bit younger because they didn't experience those same things. So you try to get both. I was able to get both and not compromise myself with my body, but still be able to get the experience without being used. I was able to, yeah, y'all get the point. But it's nothing to be proud of, but I want to give you some tips, and I want to give you something that will help you make your decision on if you should have one and if you should not, okay? I'm just giving you my spiritual guidance, my spiritual advice. So with my experiences, I really had to really sit with myself and really figure out why did I want it, and then figure out, was I not capable to provide my own when I did it? Because some people still have the money and still just want it from somebody else, and you're gonna have to really dissect why you want to do that too. So it's different nuances to this subject, but I also just want to give you some insight from my personal opinion. My personal opinion is I love people giving me money. That was cool with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the support in the time of my life. I felt like I needed that. And being a college student and being, you know, somebody that may not be able to provide all of that at once while they're getting their degree, while they're trying to figure out their career, is really easy and accessible to people that want that. And then you get the feeling of somebody may be sexually pleasing you, whatever the case may be, and you get all that in one. It's kind of like a daddy, you know what I'm saying? Like your daddy provides your lunch money, and then you getting a little something on the side, and then you trying to give up. You doing some type of exchange. I just want to let you know that you're doing some type of exchange, but it's up to you what you want to exchange, or if you want to exchange anything at all. For me, I didn't have to do all that. I didn't have to, you know, have sex with people and kiss them and do all that stuff. I didn't have to do all that. I could just get the money, and I was good with that. But some people are giving more than that to get that same love that they've been wanting all along, but they can just get it through God. So when you get older, and if you 35 and you talking to somebody 70 or you above that, it comes to a certain part of your life where you truly feel like whatever God has for you, is that what you're aiming for? Because my aims when I was with somebody that was older than me, that was my aim. I wasn't looking for a husband. I wasn't looking for anybody like that. I wasn't intentionally dating someone because I knew that that was just something I wanted to do. But that was a distraction. That's what I want to get to you guys tonight. it was a distraction for me because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know what I was called to do. So when you don't know what you're called to do, you will be easy and amped to being a distraction to other people and having other people be a distraction to you. So you have to know what you're here for, because if you know what you're here for, you'll know what you're not here for. When you know what you're not here for, you won't entertain anything that seems like it's a good option towards you, because the devil will give you options. The enemy will give you something that dresses it and disguises itself as if it's something that's going to be long standing and that it makes sense to you, because the devil will give you something like he gave me. So when I didn't want the money, I ended up talking to somebody else that had the money, but I didn't want them for the money. I just wanted to get the experience and learn more. But I ended up experiencing something else, like of another life experience. It's like getting to know somebody else through their own viewpoint and being able to see what that lifestyle consisted of being stable, of being able to provide their own, and also being in a place where they experience a lot of things and you want to learn their mind. That's a different state too. If you're using somebody for their mind, okay, you need to have your own mind. Make sure your mind in Christ. Make sure you're doing what you need to do, and you're gonna be able to explore what other people feel and what they view, but it won't be in a place where you're able to compromise in any way, any shape or form or fashion. You'll be able to do that because you still, ultimately, I had to make a choice between me and God and say, listen, okay, I know I really want to waste my time right now and then play like it ain't nothing for real, and then I really want something that you got for me too. You can't play both sides. You can't play the fence when you're trying to really look for what God has for you. Some of you may not even want what God has for you. I know some people that have been messed up by church so much that you feel like God is not outside of the church, and then you believe that God is not inside of the church. So you got those two sides too. But I want you to get in a stable place in your life where you believe what you believe. You believe that God is the head of your life, that wherever he is, wherever his word is being spoken, that you want to go to that place and receive and give something in return, because you understand that this is a two-way communication. This is a two-way relationship. So when God gets you in that place, it won't even be a question, do I want a sugar daddy? Like, they be like, what? You just won't be attracted to that. You just won't be in a place, because you'll understand that if God is providing your emotional needs, he's sending people that's here to support you. If you don't have nobody, reach out to me and I'll be that somebody. But God wants to insulate you with people that can counsel you on if this makes sense or not. Because I had to have somebody to ask me, like, to tell me, like, listen, why are you with somebody like this? Okay, so know what makes sense and what don't make sense. Like, do you really feel like this is gonna propel you in your kingdom work? Like, you bringing an old person with you around, dragging them around in a wheelchair just about when it's time for you to really step up into your calling, and people look at you like, dang, like, what's wrong? What's going on? I know what society says. You can question yourself and say, well, age ain't nothing but a number. I sung that song about Aaliyah too. I did it a lot when I was younger, and it was a real good beat too. But I had to get past that song and say, what is for me? I know what the status quo, I know people having babies by people 30 years older than them. I know it looks cute. I know that I can be settled in a physical place. But do you feel like you will be settled in a spiritual place? That's where your spiritual walk comes in. When you know for a fact that God has something better for you, that he doesn't want you to settle just because you see the finances, because you see how stable somebody looks, because you don't know what that person is battling with behind closed doors. You don't know what that person is really like when you start to live with them. Most people that go through those transactions, they don't expect you to live with them. Okay, they just want something to be really for fun. And if you don't have that mindset and you're not really strong emotionally, you'll get hurt. Point blank. I never put myself in a position to even do that because I already know how it go. But some women will really think that just because somebody treats you right means that they never treated somebody else like that the same way. If somebody know how to wash a car, they're gonna wash every car the same. I mean, point blank. It don't matter if it's a Porsche or a Maserati, okay? If it's a nice car, you're going to wash it the same because they just know how to wash a car. If somebody just know how to treat a woman, they just know how to treat one. It's up to you if you want to fall in love with something that they don't even have good intentions of even being with you. They just wanted to show you a good time. Know if somebody want to show you a good time, sweetheart. Know that, and then move accordingly. But God wants you to move accordingly towards his will and towards his way. So when you are making these decisions on if you should date somebody just outside of your age group, make sure that you're taking into consideration that that may not be your will. Like my parents, they're 8 years apart. So she wanted somebody older, point blank. I mean, I ain't got no choice of that. And I like older people too, but not to the point where they don't make sense. Like some of y'all just be, God say, okay, I give you this, I give you exception to the rule, but now you just want to take it all the way out. You want to take it all the way out to the mile. But know who fits your calling. Know when you are walking in your purpose, you're walking in what God called you to do, that when people come your way to offer you things that will satisfy your flesh and not satisfy anything else but your flesh and make you feel good, but not when you ready to pray, when you ready to really seek the Lord and be covered, and they up here praying on you and not for you, and you don't even know what they doing. You like, Lord, why are they acting like this? Because you weren't supposed to be in that place from the beginning. But don't get in a place where you're continuing to use people, because one day it may come back. Okay, you may get used, and it's not going to feel as good as you did when you did somebody else like that, because karma is real. So if you using somebody, make sure, honey, that you are fully prepared to be used too whenever that chance comes back around, when you free and on the market, when your old man dies or something like that. I don't know. But know that. And really stay true to yourself. Stay true to what you know. Okay? Some people, I mean, your mama probably did it. You probably have something passed down to you just inside of you, just feel like, dang, I just need to be with somebody 30, 40 years older than me. It's just so attractive. And then you just, you lose all sight. But I want to pray for your healing right there, okay? But for real, so y'all, know for a fact that whatever you have to question if this is right or not, it's probably not right. People say that all the time, but honestly, it's probably not right. If you got to sit there and calculate the wrongs and the rights, that means that it's not even worth it. It's not worth your soul. It's not worth you losing your life for and being distracted for years at a time, and then a decade later you realize that wasn't something that you should have been doing, that you could have provided for yourself. God could have gave you the resources to provide for yourself, and you could have had peace. God wants to give you peace, and he wants to give you clarity in your life. If you keep hanging around people and hooking up with people that's giving you confusion, that means that you need to disperse from them. You need to leave, because it may seem calm now, but people have trauma, people have addictions, okay, that can separate them from you, okay? They can do it. But you have to be prepared for what God equipped you to do, okay? When God is sending you something, you have to know that you're equipped for that. You're not equipped for more than that. But you will know that if God's sending me this, it's going to be something I can handle, and it won't be nothing outside of what I can handle. And when I feel like I can't handle it, I'm going to let it go, okay? Because I know that God is not going to give me more than I can handle. Not put up with, but handle, meaning that we're improving together, that we are equally yoked. Know if you're equally yoked, that is something for real to be looking at, because if you just too outside of the age range, that's just too much. That's too much. Let God be able to be your convictor when it comes to your age ranges on who you need to talk to, because they may think you a joke. For real. They may think you a joke by your age. So know that for sure. Don't just think that somebody else just saying everything they say is what they feel, because that may not be the case. They may be telling you something that you just don't want to hear, okay? That you want to hear, but you really don't want to feel, okay? So know that, and be confident in the decisions that you make, that you won't question what God called you to do and who he called you to be with, because God is he's not the author of confusion. He is not the author of confusion. So know that for sure. And you won't be confused on what you're supposed to be doing in the future with these people that don't even match up with your age. You won't go outside of that age range, because you'll have somebody that's on the same mental level as you. Now, I can be on the same mental level as a 50, 60-year-old, but that doesn't always, be the case. So you just got to use your spiritual discernment in this hour. Ask God for spiritual discernment, and ask God for spiritual wisdom on this walk with him, because that's the only way you're going to get through this journey, through the woods of people coming at you from every different angle. They just coming all at you, different shapes, sizes, heights, and colors, all of that. They all gonna come, but you have to know that God is gonna send me somebody for me and not somebody for somebody else at a different age group looking for something that I can't give them. Know what you can give and know what you can't. Know what you called to and what you're not called to, and you'll be good. That will answer your question on if you need to be with this person, or if you need to entertain or use this person, or just talk to this person. Because God, what we talking for? Okay, that person may be distracting you from your purpose by you entertaining people for hours and hours at a time and just doing stuff thinking that their money is gonna be a replication or anything satisfaction for what you have to bring to the table. You bring more to the table. Don't just let somebody buy the table and think you're good. No, you bring more to it. Okay, you can bring your own table too, but make sure that whatever God called you to do, that you're doing it in decency and order. God wants you to be in decency and order. So do that. And y'all be blessed.